Hey everybody, it's Chris Kirkpatrick with Life 180, and I am up here in the Better Wealth studios with Caleb Guilliams of Better Wealth. And so a couple months ago, I was up here doing some videos. Last week, I released a video on the World Financial Group, my opinions of the World Financial Group, and it's been an interesting ride already. I've spent a lot of time responding to comments and getting feedback, and some good, some bad. And you know, it's interesting. Like I put this video out, and now I have some follow-up that I'd like to give to it. And Caleb, for full transparency and awareness, Caleb is my personal agent. He's a friend. He's somebody that has a lot of experience in the agency space, I guess, like in the independent life insurance agent space, in the financial education space. He's done a lot of production. I mean, he's one of the top producers for multiple companies. And so he's kind of a shining example as I get into more of this, that anybody who really wants to make a go or make a run at being in the financial services industry, Caleb is kind of your example of like what you need to do and what you should do to succeed, in my opinion. And so I wanted to go through this and ultimately kind of talk a little bit with you, Caleb, about the video that I did, some of the feedback. It's popped up some more questions and kind of talking points, and it's also made me think of some more things that I want to say. So here's what I want to do before I get this going and before Caleb and I get into this, is that I realize that a high level of people watching this are either going to be people looking to join the World Financial Group as an agent or a rep or whatever they call them, or you're looking to work with them as a client. And so all the information, I want it to be known. I am not doing this just to bash on World Financial Group. If you know me, I'm all about education. I'm all about just letting people make informed decisions, and that's what this is all about. And I understand that it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and that's fine. If you have a problem with anything I'm saying, and I encourage you, like, I will not back down. I will not shy away. I respond to every comment in the
it's true.
comment feed. I not perfect, but I really try my best to respond to every comment on every single one of my videos. It's getting really hard, but I do my best. Or if you really are confident that I'm wrong, listen, I'm willing to eat crow when it makes sense. And if you can beat me, come and have a conversation with me, and let's do a video debate, and I'll put it up on the channel. And
I would love to see that. I will contribute to some way to the winner of that, because let's be honest here. Like, it's sad that you put out a video and it goes right to the top, because there's not a lot of people talking about this.
Sure.
And so it's just like, I'm grateful that you're bringing me in, and I just love the work that you're doing, man. I'm rocking my Life 180 shirt on, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Well, so Caleb, let's get into this then.
Yeah.
So a lot of the feedback that I get from people, and you haven't seen this video at all.
I have not.
Okay. So a lot of what they talk about in the marketing materials of World Financial Group, and the videos and the content, and just like kind of like selling the dream, so to speak, is that there's unlimited upside, right? And they basically position it like, if you join the traditional life insurance model, you don't have that upside. You can go in and be an agent. Maybe you can become a manager, but at the end of the day, there's a hierarchy that you're never going to be able to pierce as a newbie, or it's at least infinitely harder, more challenging, difficult for you to do so, right? So my argument is that may be true, but that's really only true comparing the opportunity to a career channel opportunity, meaning a company that is, because a lot of mutually held companies used to be career channel, even though the entire industry is like pivoting away from that model. And so the challenge is their positioning is kind of old news. Maybe it was relevant for them when they first
what you're
started
saying is one of their sales pitches is, hey, a career shop, which a career shop is like if you have a Northwestern Mutual, Mass Mutual, Guardian, what they would do is they would essentially hire employees that you are an employee of the company, and when you would produce, you would get paid, but you were very much paid on somewhat of a low commission, and you couldn't really have anyone under you, so there wasn't a leverage of time.
Right, exactly. And so you produced, and if you did really well, maybe you'd be put to a manager, and you'd be able to have a team and get some overrides on that. People don't realize, I think, that even the career channel is set up kind of like MLM style. Like,
very much. Actually, the insurance industry across the board is very, very much like every company is paying almost the same.
Yeah.
It's just like where that money's going.
Where are you sourcing access to the products from,
Yep.
right? And that's all based on production. The higher production, the more success you have, the more direct access you can get.
Yes.
Right? And so, okay, so that to be said, you are kind of, since you're my agent and I trust, you're like the only person in the industry that I implicitly trust because we have so many conversations about this and we're both so passionate about it that you are in the independent space.
Yes.
You are building your own agency.
Correct.
So talk to me about how you could structure and just kind of share with everybody how what you're doing is actually, you could essentially, with a little bit of effort, turn your agency into a world financial.
So are you telling me so yeah, actually because our goal is to serve 1 million people in the next 5 years.
Sure.
That's a lot of life insurance. That's a lot of financial products. So we're trying to figure out the best way to scale and grow. One of my big problems, if I'm being straight up, and I'll answer your question, but like one of my big problems is when I first got into this business, I knew that I needed to do right by people. Always. That's not even a debate. Do right by people. And so here's some of the big problems that I see. There's a lot of people in the financial service business that do not know what they're talking about.
Amen.
They're incentivized by the wrong things. They're not working with the right companies, and they're not thinking with the end in mind. And they're taught to sell versus they're not like taught what's really going on. This happened to me. Like I was told when I first got in, I had no clue what I was talking about. Didn't know anything about products. Didn't know anything about companies. I was said, get a list of 100 people, take them out to coffee, ask for a referral, sell them life insurance. And by the way, that like made me sick. There's a reason why Better Wealth has grown so much is we took 2 years, when I say me, took 2 years of not making any money, but I like traveled to insurance companies. Every Circle of Wealth, Truth Concepts, Wealth Building Cornerstones, like Leap, all these programs are amazing. They like teach how money works. I bought all of them. I, in most cases, sat and learned from the founders. I say that because when it comes to financial service, one thing that I get really, really fired up about are people out there that are not fully trained and doing right. I don't think you need a certain test that says you're a fiduciary. I do think you need to be able to look someone in the eye and say, I know how this is going to work, and I'm not selling you this because of an incentive. I'm not selling you this because this is what I need to sell you. I'm doing the right thing. So we're independent. Not because it's for the money. We're independent because it's the best way to serve people because I'm not locked into one company and able to do right. Sorry, I'm getting fired up.
No, that's awesome. And I want you to answer my previous question after, but I want to make a comment here to kind of piggyback on what you just said. And one of the reasons that I love what you do. And the traditional financial services model in general, and I think WFG kind of falls into this trap, is exactly what you were just talking about. People are not educated, they're indoctrinated, right? And like you may feel like it's education because you're being taught about the products, because of the fact that maybe the whole concept around IUL or whole life or like these concepts in general are new to you, so it feels like education, but really there's so much more to it than that. And the deeper you get, if you're somebody who questions like we do, like I worked with one of the top IUL manufacturing companies in the country a decade ago, and like I was a total IUL homer for years until I kept getting deeper and deeper and asking questions and talking to the people who were actually manufacturing these products and realizing what the purpose of them was. And it wasn't designed to be better for the client. It was designed to basically insulate the insurance company, right? And so like there's that. What I love, to get to my point, what I love about what you've done is you've realized like for new people, and for anybody, it's really hard to make it work in this industry.
It really is.
Like to sell life insurance in a way that's the most beneficial for the client, you have to take huge commission cuts, right? Like you have to go from selling a policy that would possibly make you $20,000 to making like $4,000, right? Like so as a new person, that's a big deal, right? Like this huge deal. So like what I love that you've done is it really is truly about service, and it took some guts.
I mean, it took a year and a half of not making money building.
But what you've also done is you've created systems, and your new system that you have is that it's a service-based system where it's education-based. If people want to work with you, there's a fee to go through a process that's not about life insurance. Right? It's about financial efficiency. It's about getting your house in order. It's about really setting yourself up so you can take advantages
Right.
of everything and really live intentionally from here forward. Right.
So here's what the big reason why World Financial Group is a thing is they give people the ability to make money while selling things.
Yeah.
And let's be very clear, like that's a win for the insurance company.
Yep.
That's a win for, like, you might be able to insure some of your family that would never have gotten access. So I don't want to bad mouth.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is you're taking on the financial professional, and the model that we're looking into, and this is something I don't speak a lot on, but I would be totally cool if these people were licensed and they referred to an expert home office that like literally did did the right thing.
Right.
The problem is then you're incentivized to be like, hey Chris, you don't have a guy. I could be your guy, and by the way, you could be the guy. And so you're taking a person that doesn't know anything about money, me, and then and then I'm helping you that doesn't know anything about money, and then so it's not their fault. It's not these people's fault because this model it comes along. It's very attractive, and by the way, there's this deep down desire of like this is something that America needs to wake up. Canada needs to wake up because we're not financially free, and so I commend the mission. We just watched their video. Like it's very like our mission at Better Wealth is to help people live intentional lives. They're obviously aligned with that.
Yeah.
But can I go on to my next soapbox? And then I'll go. The next problem is like, okay, Transamerica, that's a IUL / term life insurance.
They also do annuities.
Okay.
And stuff. Yeah.
So not terrible. Like if you just want straight up term insurance, Transamerica will be competitive. Nationwide, I think that's their IUL. Index Universal Life.
My guess is they use Nationwide, Transamerica, and probably Pacific Life for IUL
and maybe term.
Because all those companies do all the above.
And then we had someone in your comments that said they did whole life.
Whole life, yeah.
So by the way, I would love, like Chris said he would debate. I would love to talk to somebody that could show me a whole life illustration by World Financial Group. I would love to see it because I am a nerd when it comes to this kind of stuff. By the way, we have plenty of videos on this. We're showing high cash value. Like I wrote a book called The And Asset, literally teaching people how to best use their money while saving it for the future. Like when we talk about life insurance, I'm a nerd. And when I look at all these companies, I look at none of these companies I work with because they're not the right fit for my clients.
Right.
Mainly because they're not offering the back end what I want. And I don't want to make an assumption, but like I'm sure there's certain payouts and incentives to just pick certain companies.
Oh, totally.
And so let me ask you this. Why in these kind of structures do you sell IUL? Because I would make the argument that you should not, like if you're going to do IUL, which I'm not a huge fan of, do it with a company like Allianz or do it with a company like,
National Life Group.
Life Group.
Even then, it's like, and then there's like North American. There's a couple. Listen.
Right.
There's some companies out there. If you want to structure a policy, and this is the argument that just really gets me going more than anything is like talking about the guaranteed column in an IUL only exists for compliance reasons. I'm going to tell you straight up. If you ever say that to a client, that's borderline illegal or it's at least unethical when it comes to the insurance space. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking of buying an IUL policy and your agent has said that to you, like that says all you need to know right there. Secondly, like if the guaranteed column in an IUL looks good and you're comfortable with it, good for you. Go for it. Like awesome. Good luck. I mean, whatever. We're genuinely not doing this. Like I know some of the things I say can come across as abrasive and can come across as polarizing. Like,
I'm way more nice than you.
I'm trying to pick a fight. But I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm simply like, I've done this. I work for these companies and I understand how this works. And that's why I'm willing to debate. I'm not looking to debate to fight you. I'm looking to debate, like I'm always, if you know me, I'm always open to being educated. If things have changed and I've like missed something, I'm open to having that conversation. And so like the bottom line is it's always got to be done in what's in the best interest
of
the
client.
And,
always.
And when it comes to selling IULs, I'm a big believer, a huge believer, in fact, that the only reason companies like WFG have leveraged IULs and the whole reason that IULs have gained so much traction is that all of these IUL manufacturers out there, all the companies like Transamerica, Nationwide, Pacific Life, all these other companies, they pay a much higher percentage compensation. Apples to apples. Yes, even if you max fund, min death benefit, whether it's whole life or IUL, it's all very relative, right? And so you were talking on it for let's just talk agent to agent, like equal level comparison. If there was 100 points, meaning 100% commission rate on the base amount or target amount in a target amount in an IUL or a base amount in a whole life policy, you're talking about 100% in a whole life and about 140% in an IUL. So where does that extra 40% come from? You're going to tell me that an insurance company is going to create a new product that's about 30, 35 years old-ish, in that range. So we haven't even seen like enough time. When that's the other thing that gets me going is people like, oh, we've never had companies, there's only been a couple companies that have reduced the payouts or reduced the rates or increased the fees. It's only been 30 years. Like, and the economy's been great for the most part. So of course it hasn't. But guess what? Things are happening and things could change, right? So, but like, you're going to tell me a company is going to go from being a whole life company and then which has all these guarantees, and the insurance company takes on all the risk, and they're going to create a product that gives you a higher rate of return, more benefits, accelerated benefit riders that are better for the client. They're going to have more upside, less downside. They're going to pay you higher commission rates as an insurance agent. And the insurance company is going to take on all that risk, and there's going to be no cost to that. Of course there's going to be a cost to that. And the cost is offsetting the risk from the insurance company to the insured. And if you have an ability to like communicate it in a different way, like, I'm all ears.
Right.
Like, but it just...
Right. And I think the benefits of a World Financial Group, and I'll be the first to say, like, I'm here because I want to dialogue with you. I have not done research a ton. I just know that there's a lot of people that hit me up that want me to join their team. I'm like, I don't, and again, I want to be like humble and nice. I'm like, just let me send you a link to my business and you let me know what I need to work on. One of the things that I want to give them credit is when we talk about community, and they're helping people pay off debt.
For sure.
And like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't know what kind of demand. If you're somebody that wants to be able to refer and get paid something for a referral, reach out to Chris and I. Like, reach out to us, because while we don't have anything set in stone, I look at the benefits here and I go, there's people that want to make money helping people get financially free. I get behind that. I respect that. I love your heart. Where I'm coming in, and I hope you get my heart, is being someone that's creating the company to begin with. Maybe what will get in maybe what will hurt me is my ability to do the right thing, which might get us all paid a little less. But like, we need to do right by people. So that's where I'm just analyzing it straight from the companies that they're choosing, the network marketing, the person. Like, we have fully salaried people that help people with money. Why? Because I want them to be able to focus and do right, and I'll focus on bringing in leads. I want you to focus on doing the right thing by the client and not be like, if I sell this product, I'm going to get a little bit more money.
For sure.
So it's just like all that coming together. It's like, you can't lose. Like, you will not be able to beat what we're able to offer, just because you just can't, because we have better products with better designs, with a better system to serve for people. So, like, again,
I love it. And to kind of piggyback on that point, I do agree. And I said it in my last video. That's why I haven't been so like cozy in this video. But I do believe everybody gets involved in WFG to do something positive, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like the 4 levels of awareness, right? Like, when you first join this industry, you're unconsciously incompetent. Like, that's just the way it is, right? You don't know what you don't know in this industry. And then you become unconsciously competent, right? Like, you start to learn a little bit and you realize, like, oh, okay, like, wow, I don't know that. I'm learning it, and you get better and better, and then you become consciously competent, and that's where light bulbs start to come on. You start to realize, like, oh, there's all these things, and out there's all these other opportunities and options and different products and different strategies and different tools and systems and resources and whatever to leverage for financial education to really serve people. And that's where, honestly, it's going to take a couple years to get to that point. And by the time you hit there, like, the question is, how many people have you like sold to and served and not really done the right thing by, and I want to say this is, like, I got a comment in my last video that I did that I just kind of want to touch on. And the guy was like, we're never doing anything intentionally We're always going to do right by the client. That's what his statement was. And my response to him was, and if you're watching this, feel free to call me up. My response to that was, if you're ever selling an IUL that is not max funded, min death benefit, and literally right to the MEC level, and supplementing that with convertible term to meet the insurance need, if you're ever doing anything except for that with an IUL, you're not doing what's right by the client, period, ever. But in order to do that, you have to take such drastic commission cuts.
Yeah, and I don't understand how the network marketing, but I'm imagining that people get paid multiple levels.
Yeah, so like basically, I'll tell you what it is. Like at the beginning, when you first come in, you get 50% comp. And so, but like here's the thing, in a network marketing construct, there's 140, let's say they have a 140-point contract, which I'm going to assume they have at least that, probably higher than that, since it's WFG. And they got so much volume with these carriers. So if they got a 140-point contract and that guy's getting paid 50%, that person's being paid 50%, that means there's 90 points to be spread amongst the upline, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how they divide that up, but it is what it is.
Got it.
Right? Like, so obviously there's incentive, but like if you're making only 50%, if you're going the independent channel though, let's talk about that for a second. If it's hard enough to make it work as it is, but if you're going the independent channel, and let's say instead of 140 points, you start off with 100 points, because then you have somebody who's able to help you and mentor you and get that 40 point, for assisting you. You're getting 100. Now you can do what's right and not have to. You basically have to sell one policy for every two, serve one person.
Right. I'm just saying, don't do the financial service thing part time unless it's just a straight up referral. Like 100%. If you are going to help people with money, dedicate your light to it because it will change. Like I've seen people's lives change for the better or good. Like either better or worse. And so it's like, man, like do the right thing always. I think that's like the summary of this video.
100%. And not only that, I would say it's easier for you if you are looking to make that referral, because it's always easier to edify somebody else than it is to try to, like, the worst thing you can possibly do as a new agent is to go out there and try to act like you know everything and act like that you have all the solutions, because, I mean, the rate of just breakage in this industry with new agents who fail is over 90%. And so, I mean, the odds are against you, and people know that. And I think their gut is like a lot of life insurance people are viewed as kind of car salesmen. And it's, I mean, for a reason, right? Like, I mean, people sell too much. And so at the end of the day, I know it may be hard for you to believe, but I'm genuinely not trying to bash WFG. I do believe they mean well. I do believe that that the people, let me rephrase it, I believe the people that get involved with WFG mean well, and that they join with a good heart, and that you want to do the right things. And I believe that most WFG agents or reps or whatever you want to call them, they try to do best, or they do what they believe is best
of course,
based on their training. But I'm here to challenge you and say that if what you thought to be true turned out not to be true, when would you want to know? And one of the things that I pride myself on is always pushing being willing to be wrong and being willing to learn. And so that's why I challenge the debate, is if you have information that will help me open my eyes to something.
I love it.
So
I love it.
That's it. So anything else from you?
No, I'm grateful that you're here in the studio. I'm glad to be making some content with you, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and find a guy to debate him or girl.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, guys. Go out, have a blessed, inspirational day, crush it, and we'll talk to you on the next video.